Welcome back to the cream of the crop of hunting podcast, the Beers and Deers podcast. As always, spinning that shit, the guillotine. On this side of the bar, Rambo. What's up?
What's happening? It's been one hell of a fucking week, brother.
Yes, it has.
Oh, dude, you have no fucking idea.
I know.
We haven't even talked. We've saved it for this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been tuning in, if you've been following along with the Beers and Deers here, I went on a trip to a beautiful place on the lower eastern shore of the Delmarva Peninsula, known to locals and many others alike as Sikaville. And it was eventful.
Yeah, I know snippets.
Yeah, but I don't want to ruin anything. So tell me about your week first. I want to hear about the whitetail woods that I have missed so much.
Oh, it was glorious. So, first of all, let me throw out a little Rambo pro tip. If you are in a bind and you have to go to the Walmarts and get deer corn, and all they have is that double duty shit, you seen it in there? Double duty deer corn. It's a 35-pound bag and it's like $10.
Yeah.
Just
a fucking rip off.
Don't buy that. Stroll on over to like where they sell the dog food and shit, where they sell chicken food. They got whole corn there for the same price. Actually, I think it's a little cheaper, but 40-pound bags.
Oh, okay. So you get a couple extra pounds.
Yeah.
That's a good pro tip.
Yeah.
I try to avoid Walmart for corn. I buy local.
A lot cheaper, isn't it?
Fuck yeah! I get a 100-pound bag. A 100-pound bag of corn is $12.50.
Yeah, that's the way. That's how I'm gonna go from now on.
Yeah.
Where do you go?
To
Zeitler's?
Yeah. Yep. You know where Zeitler's is.
Yeah, right down.
Yeah, because the Spries is where I usually get them because they got 50-pound bags. I like the 100s, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just easier if you're carrying one bag. But
I don't mind a 50-pounder in case I'm like checking out a place. I don't want to waste 100 pounds just get eaten by fucking raccoons.
Yeah, I know all about that.
So anyway, Wednesday I go after work to my corn pile, and
hold on, where'd you set the corn up?
A new spot at the quarry.
Oh, okay.
Not very far from my old corn. Maybe 120 yards up on top of like the overlook.
Ah, that's a great spot.
It's like a barren wasteland up there.
Really?
Yeah, just like the trees. It's an old dump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know where you're at.
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah.
It's just real grassy, and the trees have a bunch of thorns on them. It reminds you like Texas.
Yeah.
But so I stroll in there. I signed in the sign-in sheet at 2:50 Wednesday afternoon. I get there. I'm chit-chatting with the scale house attendant. I probably get to the stand, we'll say 3:10. I'm sitting in the stand, sitting there. About 3:22, a doe comes in.
No shit.
Yeah, I was in the stand for maybe 13 minutes.
I love those.
Dude,
is there anything better than that?
No.
When you're sitting in the stand and you just get there and you're like you're mentally preparing for this fucking several hour sit where you may see absolutely nothing, and you turn around to sit down, you're still fucking standing, and there's a fucking deer. That is the best thing in the world.
Yeah. So I see her. She's coming from in front of me, and I guess she was smart because she went to circle downwind. I had a perfect northeast wind. It was wonderful. She went to circle downwind of the corn pile, and she's walking this edge like straight to me. I'm like, holy balls. And I'm only like 12 feet off the ground, if that, because these trees are so shitty. Like, you can't even climb them. It was actually in a ladder stand I was in. I didn't know whose it was. It was pretty rickety.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. I found out who it was. Sorry, senior. He didn't care.
He's a great dude. Yeah, he didn't give a fuck.
I thought it was a guy that actually got fired a couple years ago. That's who I thought it was.
No.
That's why I sat in it, but come to find out it wasn't. But senior didn't care, so thank you. So there's a tree in between me and her, and she gets to maybe 12 yards, and I wasn't sure if she was going to go right to the corn or come on the other side of that tree and keep coming to me, but she finally made her mind up to go right, and when she got her head behind that tree, I drew, and I anchored, and when she stepped out, she looked right up at me, and she was quartering 2, and I know I said last week I wasn't going to shoot another deer quartering 2, but she was fucking 12 yards.
Yeah, 12 yards, yeah.
And I buried that pin in that V of the shoulder, and didn't go 20.
Hell yeah.
Literally. Didn't go 20. I gutted her. There was a perfect triangle right in the center of her heart.
Oh, you gotta love that. So she didn't drop much then.
No.
See, that's what worries me is when they see me. Like that doe that seen me a couple weeks ago that I shot, she dropped like 6 inches.
She didn't drop at all.
Hell yeah.
That fucking arrow ripped through her so quick, it was like 8 inches in the dirt. Yeah.
You can't fucking beat that, baby. I love a close shot like that, and it just plows through them. It's like, yeah, get
Fucking
some.
heart shots are crazy. Like, they don't, like, take off like a lung shot.
No.
They are hurt.
Yeah.
They, like,
Yep.
just kind of jog away. They don't run.
Yeah, and as like this year, I've been kind of aiming for that more, and I think we both have. And honestly, I kind of don't like it.
Really?
I like how they react. I like the shot, but the problem is if they drop,
Yeah.
you fucking hit shoulder, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm starting to steer back towards going with lungs.
Never.
You
Not doing it.
You still like the hearts?
I'm sticking with it. I'm gonna get 80-pound limbs for the shoulder.
Yeah, I want 80-pound limbs as well, and I may get them in the off season. But what I'm doing, and for you it might not be as much of a factor because you're only shooting fixed blade. When I'm shooting my fixed blade, I'm gonna aim for heart. When I have the swackers, I'm aiming for lungs.
That sounds
Solid-
pretty good.
solid,
yeah.
right?
Solid plan, Ted. So I was in the stand for. If I forgot to sign out, but if I would have signed out after I got her gutted in the truck, I would have signed out an hour later after signing in.
That's a great hunt.
It was beautiful.
Your home is still daylight.
I think that was my second quickest hunt. I think my first was that 5-pointer. I climbed to the stand at like.
You just hung your bow up, right?
Yeah, I climbed to the stand at like 350, and like 358 he come walking by. So yeah.
Yeah, you can't. That's fucking a sore dick.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Lovely. And when I took her to Buckland's, shout out. A lot of does in the whole freezer over there. Not one buck.
It's that time of year. Yeah. I got to go pick up a deer from them. I got a bunch of meat processed. It took a while. That last doe I shot, it was like 2 weeks ago. But they're with the process and stuff they're buying.
Yeah.
$150 for that deer. That's how much of it I got processed. But dude, I'm really starting to dive into. I used to never get shit processed.
Yeah.
I would just get like basic cuts. Every once in a while, I'd get some snack sticks. But dude, now I'm getting fucking scrapple. I'm getting fucking meatloaf. Like the snack sticks. I'm getting bologna. I'm even getting some hot dogs from up at Hess. Yeah.
I think Sam wanted to do that. I think we might take a bunch of, probably all the roasts up there to Hess's and see if they can process and some crazy shit.
That's what they do. Yeah, I took 30 pounds there today.
Good.
Well, Kevin Dvorak, shout out, brother.
Yeah, we got to get him back on.
Yeah, we do. I got too much on my mind. But I took 30 pounds up there. I can't remember how much that's going to be, but it's going to be hefty. But because it was straight processed, 30 pounds, which was like Wyatt's whole deer. So, but I'm definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, we went. So I'll save that. I was going to say we met up with a listener down in Sikaville. Hell yeah, shout out Will. Fucking, he hooked us up, man. He gave us some good intel. Good dude. But
yeah,
let me go ahead and
do the honors.
Get you on the board, brother. Pulling ahead yet again.
Yes.
You're keeping this competition to the end, brother.
Hey, I got to do it. I want it to end in a tie, but you know, if it ends up me winning, I'll be back-to-back champs. I'm okay with that. And yeah, so I went hunting tonight. Didn't see jack shit. Jack shit. I didn't see jack shit in the stand. I didn't see jack shit leaving. I went to port. So I put corn out there I told you, just kind of prime it up for next weekend's rifle. I didn't really expect to see anything on the corn tonight. But, you know, I expected to see something out in the field edge.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Nothing. When did you put it out?
Today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be nice for rifle.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be all primed up. Hopefully they don't just come around at night or, like over on your side, all raccoons.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess, do you want to set up corn in two different spots? Is that what you're thinking? Just kind of, you set up over there, I'll set up on my inside corner? Because I was going to do the same thing.
Were you? I mean,
either that or I might just take Wyatt over my buddy Grant.
Either way, I mean, we can just put a big pile on one inside corner and just sit there.
Yeah.
It don't matter. I just figured putting corn over on my side because it hasn't been touched. I haven't been over there all season.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. I might take Wyatt up there to our buddy Grant, and he lives in Elkton, but he's got a really sweet spot up here in Perryville, Maryland. He's got a bunch of acreage. He runs a quarry up here, and he offered to have Wyatt come sit in one of his blinds for those couple days of rifle. So that's it's a great thing when you're a young kid, man, because guys like, oh yeah, here's your boy, he can come hunt my spot.
Of course.
Nobody wants to let me come hunt their spot, but oh, your son, he's 8. Oh, it's first year. Yeah, bring him over. I got some nice one.
I got a 160 out there. You can have it.
Yeah, and that's how Grant is too.
Yeah.
He's like 125, 130. He's like, give him another year. I'm like, you're fucking out of your mind.
I got a 135 up on the wall upstairs, and it's a monster in my book.
Every single time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he lets him walk. I guess, I mean, he's been hunting a lot longer than we have. He's an older guy, so I guess for him, he's probably shot at least a handful of them. So he's probably
in his 50s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time we get there,
we might be in the same boat. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Oh, another update. I know you know this. That buck I shot, he is alive.
He's alive.
He is alive.
That's insane.
Yep.
Just the will to live of these animals.
Yeah.
Did your broadhead break off in him or?
Yeah, but I got him on camera the same side that I shot him, and he looks fine. So I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell.
Yeah, because when he ran, he looked wonderful. He was fucking bounding through the woods, but yeah, he looked fine. He was eating the corn. I think I got him the first night I put that corn pile out, and I haven't seen him since. I think in his brain he was like, wait, this isn't smart. I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
This is where I got arrowed.
That's why I was telling Ryan down when I was down there is like usually if your arrow comes out, they're gonna live. Like if you hit them like in the shoulder or non-vitals, but if your arrow stays in them, then they have a risk of getting like gangrene and shit because of that foreign object in them. So
he might get gangrene.
Yeah.
But then again, you see all these old timey pictures of bone like growing around these fucking broadheads. So.
Exactly. It doesn't mean that they're going to get gangrene. They can still live. It's possible, but if that broadhead's in them, their chances just dropped a good bit. So, but then again, you don't really know. He could have ran off and the broadhead snapped, and then the broadhead came out. Yeah, you don't know. So,
yeah.
But we're rooting for you, little buddy. Come back around and get clapped.
Yeah. So that's 2 deer I've wounded this year that lived.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. I think I got 1. I don't know. I know I got that buck, but I think that's the only one I've wounded this year. It does happen, man.
I've wounded
more
3.
It's more than we like to admit. You know,
Yeah.
It does happen, and I mean, shit. Even some of the guys that are the best shots, it still fucking happens, dude.
Oh yeah.
Fucking, I think Cam Haynes did it this year.
You see if you watch hunting shows, you see it all the time. People will obviously gut shot one, and they'll be like, "Yep, smoked him, smoked him."
I seen that on a show. Oh, it was that 1 Week in November show I was watching. It's a cool show, and a guy hit him in the guts. It was like, I think it was the last episode. And as soon as I seen it, I said guts. And Ryan was like, really? I was like, yeah, that was guts. And then he was like, he called somebody. He's like, yeah, it was a little back. I was like, yeah, it was guts, dude.
That's their number 1 line. It was a little back. Bullshit. You just
gut shot that deer.
God.
But hey, it happens. It does happen. And if you give them time, usually you can recover them. It's bumping them that kills you.
Yeah.
It does. If you gut shot a deer and then you jump them up, that sucks. And your chances are going down quite a bit.
Yeah. That Aaron shot on that buck was my fault.
Yeah.
I went out back and I shot the bow, and it was off.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think happened?
Just throwing it around. I don't know.
Dude, I had to test my bow every day after these hunts down here.
Really?
Because it was just a war of attrition.
I'm excited to hear about it.
Dude, so let me start with day 1.
We could grab a beer.
So it's day 1. I drive down there Sunday, and I got 3 days to hunt. Hunting Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And just a little caveat, I don't know, maybe that's the wrong word, but just some background. We're hunting in Wacomico County for the elusive Sika deer. Now, if you haven't heard of the Sika deer, go back and listen to our podcast, Sika Deer 101. So we went this time. Last time we went to Dorchester County. This time we're going to Wacomico County.
Is that above or below? Or
it is below and slightly to the east.
Okay.
So it's like southeast of Dorchester and Blackwater.
It's like closer to Ocean City.
Yes. Now, according to the Blackwater biologist, the head biologist of the national parks on like the East Coast, she said that 90% of Sika deer live in Fishing Bay and Blackwater.
Really?
Yes. So we already were aware of the fact that there was a lot less of them in Wacomico. And for contrast, in Dorchester County, on average, they kill 3,000 to 4,000 Sika deer a year. In Wacomico, they kill 40 to 60.
Wow. So you're already on the...
So we already knew this was not going to be an easy feat. But we went into it with really high hopes, and it did not disappoint. So day one, I get down there, it's Sunday, whatever, we bullshit around, we drank some beers, and wake up at the ass crack of dawn. I think we got up at 3:30 in the morning.
Ugh.
And we're going to this spot off this place that Will Bratton, shout out Will down there, told us about.
Shout out.
Dude, he looked out, man. We met up with him, had a couple beers.
Hell yeah.
Great dude.
Good.
Said Kevin's probably the coolest guy on the podcast.
Is that what he said?
He said, yeah, you guys are pretty fucking boring, but Kevin's cool. You should have him back on.
Okay. I'll just give up my seat.
He said, okay, so I got some notes here because this is so much hunting I had to keep track of which days were which, otherwise I'd lose them. So it's muzzleloader, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm taking the muzzleloader in the morning. I'm going to reach out and touch something.
You stopped over here before you went. I took care of you. I gave you 3 quick shots. You were ready to go.
I was ready to rock, baby.
Yeah.
So we get there. It's like 4 a.m. I don't know, whatever time it was. It was probably 4:30. We make our hike out, which is... This terrain down here is so nasty. It's got these phragmites, and then in the phragmites here, it's intertwined with briars. So it is just basically like an impenetrable wall that these deer have around them. It's brutal. I think that's a lot of why Wacomico is so hard to hunt, because the terrain is harder. It's all frag. There's flooded timber, but there's a lot more frag in Wacomico.
Now you said Dorchester has more kills. What's the population split up like?
They're saying, according to the Meat Eater podcast, where the head biologist, she said that 90% of Sika deer are in Fishing Bay and Blackwater. So that leaves, I don't know if she was leaving out Assateague, because Assateague is notorious for Sika deer as well, but we hunted there, so I'll get to that. But yeah, so we go in there, and it's pretty rough hike in, but it's not too bad because Ryan scouted it, and when he scouted it, he jumped one up there, so hopes are high. We get in there, and I get to my tree, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait till I didn't want to load the muzzleloader going through all that marsh and shit, so I wanted to wait till I was up in my stand, and then I'd load it. So I climb up in my stand, and I'm looking for my primer.
Mm-hmm.
And the muzzleloader that I have has these little orange, like, caps that you stick your primer in. It's a weird muzzleloader. It's an older one.
Yeah. It's from my father. He bought it for like $50. But it's a nice gun.
It's a nice gun. Shoots great.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100 yards, I drill and tacks.
Yeah.
So, and I realize, it dawns on me that I have a bag full of orange little caps.
Yeah.
And not one of them has a primer in it.
I thought, because I had a whole box of 209 primers, I should have just, here you go. And they're so hard to find. Like, you're not going to the nearest sporting goods store down there and getting a box. So, that sucks.
Yeah. Dude, that hurt so bad. So I'm like, I text Ryan, I'm like, luckily I had signal, because down there I usually don't. I'm like, dude, I got no fucking primer, and he doesn't know a damn thing about muzzleloader. He's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, dude, I can't shoot. I'm dead in the water.
I got no bang.
He's like, we're early enough. He's like, run back to the truck, or run back to my car. We took his car, and get the stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get the keys from you. So I run over to his stand. He tosses me the keys. I took all my stuff down because I didn't want to have to come back and fuck his spot up. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I took all my stuff down. I run, grab the keys, run back to the car. I look through all my stuff. I have no fucking primers. So I was like, well, I guess I'll take a nap in the car.
Damn, dude.
So I lay down in his car and took a little nap, wait for him to finish his hunt. And then he comes back. He's like, what happened? I was like, dude, I had no primers. I wasn't going to go fucking out there, you know. I was like, fuck. I didn't have my bow in the car. It was back at his house. Luckily, I did bring my bow with me because I was kind of like, I'm a bow hunter. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I like the muzzleloader, but it just doesn't feel as comfortable to me. And I really like when you're hiking miles into or kayaking, because we did both, I want to know my equipment is reliable. And I know my bow well enough to be like, I know when this thing is good to go. So I was like, you know what? I'm done with that. I went to the truck, and I did have primers in the truck.
Okay.
But I was like, I'm just done. Yeah. I'm just bringing my fucking bow. I know my bow.
It's been nothing but bad luck with that gun.
Yeah, I've had terrible luck with that muzzle.
It's a great gun.
Yeah. Great shot at the range. But in the field, it's more me. It's not the gun. It's just I'm just not familiar with it. You know what I mean? So, all right. So, Sika deer 1, Seth 0. Going back out that evening. So, in the evening, we decide that we're going to we are going to kayak into the depths of Ellis Bay.
Ooh.
So Ellis Bay, this is all in Wicomico, and it's all basically around this bay where we're going. We're going off of several different access points, Nutter Road, and I'm giving you up all my information here because if you can go out there and kill one, good on you. So
I want to see it though.
Yeah.
Send me a picture.
Ellis Bay, we went to Nutter Road, we went to Muddy Hole, and they're in there.
Yeah.
So this time we kayak out, and we take the kayaks out. This is just the most beautiful country. So we took my truck, we kayak out into Ellis Bay. We got out there early because this was a spot we're running and gunning. We've never been before, but there's this island of trees out in the frag that we decided to kayak to. And it's badass, man. And I'll post all pictures of some of the stuff that we got on the Instagram, so check it out. But we kayak out to this spot, and this time taking the bows. Ryan's bow anyway, because he don't even own a muzzleloader. So we kayak out there. Everything's going nice and smooth, and I'm taking pictures on my phone, taking video. Like I was planning to make like a video of this trip to post to YouTube, and I stuck my phone like up underneath my jacket, kind of like on my lap while I was kayaking, so I could grab it quick. Well, that was a bad idea. Mind you, this phone's 6 weeks old. Just got it, and
top of the line phone too.
Yeah, I got it because I wanted the camera for filming. The S21 fucking Ultra
Galaxy
Giga Sucker or whatever it is. So we get to this grass, and it's like this needle grass, and it looks like needles. It's a really neat grass. But it's not as nearly as high as the frag. It's not as tall as like me. Some spots are pretty tall. It's like 4 foot, but a lot of it's only a couple feet tall.
I think that's probably what me and Runsky were sitting over, because it was only like 3 or 4 feet tall.
Yeah,
there's no frag. That was probably our issue. Anyway.
Yeah, but then it's not a bad spot to sit. But they're still creatures of the edge.
Yeah,
you still see them on these edges.
Yeah. So
I go to get out of the kayak, and I hop out of the kayak, I drag my kayak up onto this needle grass. It's like quicksand, dude. You step in there, you're knee deep. You step in another spot, you're fucking hip deep. You got to be real careful where you step. And if you're going there and you plan to hunt there, try to step literally right on top of the grass, so you're in the root bed when your foot gets down.
Don't step on a clear spot.
If it's clear, you're probably going down.
Yeah, because this shit, it's like floating.
Yeah,
it's like a floating.
It's like a bog.
Yeah, if you step on a clear spot, you're going down. Yeah. Me and Ronsky learned that real quick.
Yes, and many a times it happened to me. But so we get out, and I'm unpacking all my stuff. I get my stand and my bow, and I'm like trying to get my phone. I was going to take another like short video clip of like, all right, now we're going in, you know. And I'm like, where the fuck is my phone? So I started looking around. Man, we couldn't find it. We looked for about 15, 20 minutes. And it was like, all right, we got to get going. I mean, I don't know what else to do. It's not here. It either fell in the water when I got out of the kayak, or it fell in the mud, and one of us stepped on it and pushed it further down.
Yeah, things part of the earth now.
It's gone. Yeah, it's gone. So, lost my phone. And we go in here. Had a really nice spot. We found some really good sign going through this island. Lot of trails in there. I mean, I've never seen so much heavily traveled tracks and trails and not seen a deer.
Yeah, these are weird creatures. They don't do the same. It's not like a whitetail. They don't follow the same trail over and over, day after day.
No.
They're little dickheads.
Yeah, they just run all over.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason to where they're going. And in mating season, they're a little dumber, but, I mean, these things, man, they just don't like to move in daylight a whole lot, especially in this time of year. But we didn't see anything, and that's it. Heard some bugles. Heard a couple bugles, so that was cool. So we kayak out of there. I got my tail tucked between my legs. I'm like, fuck, all right. We're going to try something different in the morning. We're going to kayak to this other island. So that morning we go in and we get, 5.5 hours of sleep and kayak out to this new spot. We park it. Where we're parked this morning was a little sketchy because it wasn't really a boat ramp. It was like a restaurant with a dock. And we just like pulled our kayaks to the side of the dock. And we're just like, okay, I hope I don't get towed.
Jesus.
So we pull our kayaks in and it's low tide. And I'm like, all right, we got to make sure we pull our kayaks in good here because that tide's going to come up and we'll be up the creek without a kayak. So
Yeah.
we pull them in good and it's morning now. So we trek into this island, and this island I think this was the worst terrain of all. It was just impenetrable. Trying to get into this fucking island was unreal, Johnny. It was so bad. I mean, it was literally just frag. So it was like an obstacle course getting in. It's like needle grass on your way in where you're trying to step, and every step you take, it's like fucking Indiana Jones where you don't know if it's going to fall out from underneath you. You know what I mean? And then once you get through that, then you get to this frag that is laced with thick, heavy briars. So we are making all this fucking commotion trying to get into this fucking island that we've never even been to before.
Yeah. And
we just basically get in there as best we can and just fucking like bulldoze through it and get up in our stands. I'm in my stand and I'm like, all right, this is it. And I got a nice spot. I'm sweating my fucking balls off.
it's been hot, but all that work too.
Yeah, and mosquitoes, by the way, they're still there.
That's what Ryan was saying over the group chat. It's like 45, 50, and he's like, I'm still getting ate up.
Yeah.
I'm like, good.
Still using a thermocell.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, the one day I went without it, I got bit like 5-6 times. So thermocells are still needed in lower temperatures there.
That's crazy.
The first morning I didn't get bit, but that was in the 30s. But I feel like if it's in the 40s or up, you better take a thermocell there.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's insane. So we get in the stand, and I'm in my stand, and it's still dark, and I am hearing a lot of movement in the water.
Ooh.
And I'm like, fuck yeah, finally. All this fucking misery. And Ryan put this place the best way, because the sun comes up there, and it is just the most gorgeous sunset you've ever seen in your life. And he's like, this place is a beautiful hell.
Yes.
And I was like, that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
It's a beautiful hell. And I'm hearing all this sound out there, and I'm like, fuck yeah, baby, here we go. And I'm like trying to look. I can't see. It's too dark. And the sun starts to come up, and I'm looking around. And I'm like, I'm on this island. There are 0 trails in here. It's just frag and briars. Brian said where he was at, there was a nice trail he was right over top of. So he was like real hopeful because we're hearing all this noise. And then I start hearing like ducks quacking and wings flapping and shit. I'm like, motherfucker. So we sat there till like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and got out of there.
Damn it, man.
Yep. So we're kind of just feeling like, what the fuck? This is just brutal. We haven't even seen one yet. And Ryan's like, dude, let's go try Assateague. Assateague is on the far east side of the Delmarva Peninsula, and it's an island. And it's actually a totally different group of Sika deer that were released there from the original ones that were released on James Island. But this place is awesome. It's like a beach. It's literally you're hunting on the beach.
Yeah, and they got wild ponies there, don't they?
And there's wild fucking ponies.
Yeah, I seen that snap. That was insane.
Yeah, Ryan was like, dude, how many points is a pony worth? I was like, dude, if you shoot a pony, you win the competition. You're going to prison.
Yeah.
But I'll give you that fucking belt, dude.
You're going straight to the pen. If you want the $180 belt, go for it.
Yeah, you can have it.
I'll ship it to you.
Yeah, I just want to watch. Because, dude, those ponies, they're all over. I mean, they're literally, I've probably seen 20 of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was cool as hell.
They run from you or anything? Or?
No. He said sometimes they'll attack you. I was like, shit, I will punch that pony in the face.
Yeah.
I will fuck that pony up, son.
All right.
I'll treat him like, I'll be like Mr. Hands. Ah! Do you know who that is? It's the guy who got fucked to death by a horse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Mr. Hands.
an
Yeah,
idiot.
Google that one if you want to.
Don't.
If you want to throw up.
Don't. If you're in the mood for vomiting, go ahead and Google that.
Yeah, if you need a good purge, look up Mr. Hands.
I remember that. I tried to block that from my memory. Thanks.
You're welcome. Sorry. So here's a shooter pass for you.
Right.
So turns out on Assateague there are just too many ponies, and they're starting to starve to death because they can't forage enough, and they open a hunting season. You gonna put in for it?
Fuck yeah, dude. I'll shoot a horse. Fuck out of here, dude. I'm turning that bitch into glue, son. Ship that thing to Elmer's. How much you giving me, bruh?
I didn't think I would, but being there with them on that island, I fucking ranged one. I wasn't gonna shoot it or anything. I just wanted to do it. Dude, it was like 70 something yards. I was like, dude, I could
target.
smoke that thing right now. It would have been an easy shot. It makes me think about elk. Like, a lot of these guys are like, oh, a 90-yard shot. I'm like, that's a fucking shot. But, dude, like, that horse, and it's a pony, at 80 yards, like, dude, I could have smoked that thing. I would have fucking 10-ringed it.
Yeah. Shooting at a Glendale buck at 80 yards is like, ugh.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, I mean, but not that we do good on that, but, like, I don't know if I would want to shoot a deer at that range. But a pony or an elk, yeah.
It's like hitting your truck door.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I'm with you. I think I would do it too.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, I would try it. It can't. To me, it can't be bad.
No.
Is it still an ungulate? Ungulate? I don't think it is because it doesn't have a split hoof. It's different. Yeah.
Bovine? No, because
Equine?
Equine.
Equine.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, my dad trains racehorses. I don't fucking know.
So we decide to get there, and we bring the climbers in. There are no climbable trees.
Nice.
You have to hunt from the ground. So, and you can't drive onto the beach there, at least not on the north side, which is the bow-only side where we wanted to go. So it's a 6-mile stretch of beach. We decided we're going to hike in to like 4 miles in and hunt there. You're shaking your head like, you guys are nuts.
Jesus.
So we fucking hike our asses in there, and when we realized that we couldn't have our climbers on, we picked a good spot and stashed our climbers because we're like, we're not gonna be able to use them.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to hunt from the ground. So it was a cool fucking hunt, man, because it was almost like I felt like I was hunting out west.
Yeah.
You know, from the ground. And basically the plan that I formulated was there's this. I mean, it's thick stuff, but I'm hoping we can like creep through it. Because we're like walking on the beach to get to where we want to go. And I'm like, here's what we're going to do, Ryan. I'm going to go in here. Our wind's blowing back into the woods. It's blowing off the ocean into the woods, if you want to call it that. It's almost like mountain laurel, but it's not. I don't know what kind of plants those are, or little trees those are. But so I'm like, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go in because the wind's going to be at my back going in. But then when I turn and start walking up, the wind's going to be blowing cross. You know what I mean? It's a crosswind, so it's not a bad wind.
Yeah.
So, and what that enables us to do is you're going to walk up another 20 minutes, and you're going to cut in. And we're going to walk towards each other. And I'm like, what we're going to do is we're going to walk at an ultra slow pace. We're still hunting. So you're more standing than you're walking. So I'm like, this is what we're going to do. So he walks up, and it's cool because I'm on like this little hill, and I can see him. And he walks and walks and walks and walks, and he starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And I can barely see his arms, and he's like this, and I'm like, yep. And I just turn and walk in so he can kind of see me walk. And I walk in, and dude, it's fucking trails all over this place. It is just thick with them. I mean, they're just running through there. And there's whitetail there, too. And I'm like, at this point, I'm smoking a fucking whitetail. I see one.
I'm shooting something, dude.
Yeah. And there's fucking ponies in there. Fucking, it was just fucking cool. And I start, like, creeping towards him, and it is just too thick. So I got, like, fucking 150, 200 yards in. And I was like, all right. I came upon this place, and there's this needle grass. And it's surrounded by like thicket, and then on like one side of the needle grass, there's this just horse trail. Not literally.
Could be.
Yeah, could be. But it was Sika deer. And deer. It was whitetail tracks in there too. And there's like 3 trails that all converge to this spot. It's like a funnel. So I'm like, all I'm doing is blowing shit out of here if I keep moving. I was like, so hopefully Ryan gets the same idea and just sets up somewhere on some nice sign. So that's what I did. I set up, I brushed myself in a little spot, and I sat there on my knees, and I kind of went, my legs would fall asleep a little bit, and I'd like kind of sit up on my knees, and then I'd sit back on my like ankles, you know what I mean? Just going back and forth to try to keep the blood in my legs, but trying to move as little as possible, you know, because I'm on the fucking ground, and it's a 20-yard shot, so if anything comes in there, I got to be perfectly still. I got face paint on, you know what I mean? I'm ready.
Fucking Rambo'd out, dude.
And I see some movement.
Ooh.
And it's like an hour before sundown, but I'm way back in here in this thick shit, so I'm like, dude, who knows when they're going to move in here? So I see a little bit of movement, and I'm waiting, and I'm fucking like holding my breath. I'm like, finally.
I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
I'm fucking, all this fucking hard work is finally coming to fruition, and I'm just visualizing this fucking monster stag coming in, and I'm fucking knocked in. I got my fucking bow in my hand. I'm standing there on my knees, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting, and I see this mass move, and it's a fucking horse.
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, how the fuck are you back here, you fucking blumbering idiot? God damn it. So I sat there, didn't see nothing other than that horse.
That's cool, though.
It was cool as shit, dude. It was an awesome fucking hunt. It was really cool. I would like to go back and hunt there. Oh, caveat. Before we went in, this guy walks up to us. Or I walk up to this guy because I'm waiting for Ryan, and he's got a camera, and he's like, oh, you hunting? I was like, nah. And he was like, and I was like, yeah, dude, I'm fucking hunting. I got 2 bows in my hand. I was holding Ryan's bow. Ugh. And he's like, oh, you hunting the Sika deer? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I just seen a big 6-pointer. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, I got a picture of it. I'll show you. I'll be like, are you fucking serious? It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Jesus.
He said, yeah, it was just standing up in this grass. And he shows me this monster stag. And I'm like, that is fucking beautiful. Where was he? And he's like, he tells me where it was. It was a no hunting zone.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
But it makes me wonder, like, if they move in daylight all the time in a no hunting zone, I wonder if they're just so nocturnal because of pressure.
Definitely could be. I mean, that makes sense.
Are they just that smart? You know what I mean? Like, because a whitetail, they'll go nocturnal, but like these things are like legit nocturnal.
Yeah, I mean, a whitetail will go nocturnal, but he'll show up about 5 or 10 minutes before sun goes down.
Yeah, these things like don't move till 20 minutes after. It's fucking insane. But yeah, so we seen that. So I was hopeful here going in, and I come out, and Ryan is walking down the beach, and I'm like, hey. And he was like, hey. He was like, did you come out? And I was like, nah, dude, I only made it like 200 yards in. He was like, oh, I walked all the way the fuck down. He said what he did was he went on like the bay side of this island and just walked like in the water around the edge, like real slow. And he said he's seen some movement, but he didn't have a shot or anything. So, yeah. It was a long walk back in the beach. My feet were soaked. I was wearing Crocs.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It was so warm, though. It wasn't like, it was fucking 55 degrees. So, we got back, and we're like, all right, we got to figure something out. Because
if I can shoot one of these fuckers.
Now we're 2 days in. We got one more day. I'm like, let's go back to where I seen that one earlier this year. Let's go back to Muddy Hole Road.
Yeah.
So, in the morning, we got this spot on Muddy Hole, and it's frag, man. You got to go through frag. But we seen Sika deer there, or I seen one last time I was there. So, we're walking in the morning, and it's pitch black. Park on the side of the road. We took the truck. You need 4-wheel drive, really, to park in there. So, I'm walking in, and I get down this trail. I don't want to say 150 yards into the frag. And I lock eyes with a stag.
Oh, my God.
And he looks at me. I look at him, and I'm like, I honestly thought about shooting him. I know that's illegal as fuck, but I thought about it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not going to shoot him. And he's just looking at me. I'm looking at him, and I'm just like, I guess I'm just going to keep walking to my stand. And I took another step, and he took off and ran. So I was like, fuck yes. They're here.
Did he like blow or anything like a whitetail
Nope.
would? No, just
Nothing.
took off running.
No. Apparently they do. They'll make like a high-pitched sound, but he didn't do anything. So I go into the sweet spot that I seen, and I marked on Onyx before. Or that's where I was going, rather. Let me step back here, because I'm going in. And when we came in, Ryan was going to another spot. So I come in, and he was going to the right. I'm going to the left. Well, I get up here, and to my left, after I jumped up that stag, I see a headlamp. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm in the middle of the nowhere, back here in this fucking heavy frag. It's just, to me, I'm like, what other fucking asshole is this much of a diehard that's going through this right now?
And it was Ryan.
And it was fucking Ryan. And I'm like, Ryan, how the fuck did you get over here? And he's like, what do you mean? What are you doing over here? And I'm like, Ryan, this is my spot. Like, you were supposed to cut right. And he was like, no, this is mine. I was like, Ryan, I know where the fuck I'm at, dude. And nothing against Ryan, dude. This frag, you can get spun around. But honestly, I felt like he stepped through a fucking warp hole. Because he went to the right.
Yeah. You've seen him go to the right.
I seen him go right.
Yeah.
I went maybe 100 more yards to the left. And then somehow he was on my left.
Well, he would have had to walk over the trail, right? Or
Yeah.
is it like a trail or?
Kinda.
Yeah.
It's a fucking Sika trail, but it was a heavy one.
Okay.
I don't know how he got over there. We still don't know. I feel like he fucking stepped through a portal, a wormhole.
Probably. Aliens did.
But I was like, dude, you got to go back down that way. I got no fucking phone. He's got Onyx. I'm like, what are you doing? But it like I said, man, that frag is just, you get spun around. It was funny. You seen that meme where it's like all the Spider-Mans and they're pointing at each other like, yeah. That's what it felt like. No, you're fucked up. I fucked up. But I guess he wasn't watching his phone and he was just following this trail. And somehow it got spun around. I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was funny. So he took an extra long walk. He said he was like barreling through frag. Like it was a bitch. He was like, he said he thought about just like laying down in the frag because he didn't want to fuck up my hunt. Because he was like, dude, I can't find any like trees. He said, I thought about just sitting in the frag. That way I don't keep blowing shit up.
Yeah.
But I guess he did eventually find a tree. And I found a tree. And if I'm telling this wrong, sorry, Ryan, but that's third person. So I get in a nice tree, and dude, as soon as I get into my tree, I'm hearing bugles ripping. It's
awesome.
Just fucking ripping, dude. It was bad to the bone. So I'm like, hell yeah, this is where we needed to be the whole time. And now, in hindsight, we should have stayed there the whole time. So it's like one of those old adages, don't leave deer to find deer. Yeah. Don't leave fish to find fish. You know what I mean? I seen one there. We should have stayed there the whole time. But
yeah, well.
Is what it is.
Well, then you're always thinking, well, if you didn't get one there, then you're thinking, well, maybe we should have went there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we got in our trees and heard lots of bugles that morning, but didn't see anything. Seen a fox. Had a fox come through. Thought about shooting it, but he was hustling.
It is fox season, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, bastards.
So, get out of there. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't just get out of there. I fucking sitting in my stand, and all of a sudden I hear beep, 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 beep. And I'm looking, and I look back towards the road, and I'm a couple hundred yards off of this dirt road, and I see a flashing fucking light and a diesel. And I hear the beep, and I'm like,
the fuck?
What the fuck? And I'm like, that's weird. And it's like 8:30. And I'm like, and then it dawns on me. I'm parked on the right side of the road, which is private land.
Mm-hmm.
The left side is public, which is where we were. But I was parked on the right side because it was less muddy. And I was like, I'm about to get fucking towed. So I climbed down as fast as I fucking can, dude. I mean, I'm climbed down like lightning. Left all my shit, and I sprint through the fucking frag. I'm hauling ass, dude. I fall down. I fucking get in the water. I'm fucking soaked, like just covered in shit. Like, run out, and I fucking get out there, and it's a fucking grader. They're fucking putting crush and run down on the road.
They're just grading the road.
Yeah, they're just grading the road.
Fuck, man.
And I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, this hunt has just been so brutal. I lost my phone. I thought my truck was about to get towed. Like, just, I'm getting my ass kicked. I haven't even seen one of these fucking deer.
I see one walking in.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen one from the stand.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you've got to be shitting me. If it weren't for the bugles, man, I think I would have been like, dude, fuck this.
Yeah.
But at least I was hearing them. I knew they were there. I could hear them within hundreds of yards. And then that morning, I heard one that was within 200 yards. Like when you can start hearing their like throatiness, like their that was a terrible example. Sorry about that.
Sounded awful.
Yeah, but when you can hear that, like they're pretty close.
Like the gutturalness of it.
Yes, and so I was like, he's within 200 yards of me. So it was just a grader. So I start walking back in, and I run into Ryan, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?
Where's your shit?"
He's like, "Where's your stuff?" And I'm like, "Dude, I fucking started sobbing." I'm like, I'm just getting fucking raped by this fucking marsh. Like if the marsh was a human, it would have been just fucking raw dogging me, just fucking having its way with me,
fucking
dude.
Peter North.
Yeah, yeah. No spit, nothing.
Oh God!
Just punched me in the back of the head. Just yeah. So I'm like, all right. We heard a lot of good calls. You heard a lot of good calls. We're gonna come back tonight. It's the last hurrah. So we decide what we're gonna do is we're gonna dive deeper into my spot where all the sign was and where the bugle was going from, and that's what we do. So we dive deep into it, and now, mind you, this whole time I got no phone, so I'm on point, dude. I got my bow in my hand a lot. Like I'm hearing shit a lot because this frag, you always hear stuff, and I'm grabbing my bow. I'm on edge, and I'm in this really good spot, man. There's all these trails that converge in this frag, and I just felt really good about this sit, and I'm sitting there, and it's like. I don't know what time it was because I don't have my phone, but it was well before an hour before sundown. I hear a bugle rip, and it's close. It's like 200 yards. So I'm like, fuck yeah. So I grab out my fucking bugle or my Sika reel. It's a hind call, but you can bugle with it.
Okay.
And I fucking let it rip, dude, like a couple minutes after he did. And I'm like, this motherfucker's going to come in. And where we were set up, I thought it was a good chance if he tries to win me, he's going to go over to Ryan and then walk past him to get behind me because he was like in Ryan's direction. But he would have had to get behind me and Ryan to win us. So I thought he was going to cut over, walk past Ryan, and then cut in to try to win me. And I was like, so even if he does that, Ryan's going to have a shot on him.
You just want to see one dead at this point.
Yeah, I don't care if it's me or him or I hit one with the truck. I just want to fucking sick a deer. I'm waiting. Some time goes by, and I know it takes like 15 minutes usually before they'll like show up. You know, if they're about that yard. It's just from videos I've seen online. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting.
Waiting some more, and
it starts to get dark, and I heard some more bugles, and it sounded like he started to come closer. But
just got too dark.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
No, damn it.
And I crawled my ass out of there one last time. And hey, it was all in all, I really enjoyed myself.
It was a hell of a story.
It was.
I'm excited to go back Blackwater with y'all.
Yeah.
And they're in the rut next year.
So that's my takeaway from this. Fuck them Sika deer in Wicomico County. I'll go back to Dorchester, but dude, Wicomico, it's all frag, and like there's a reason they only kill like 50 of them a year over there.
Not for the faint of heart.
No. And I'm not saying I won't go back there, I guess, but if I go back there, it's going to be in the rut when I can call to them more effectively.
Shit. All those Sika deer killed over there are probably on private land.
Yeah.
Under a feeder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I seen so many more in Dorchester and Blackwater, and the flooded timber, man, it's where it's at.
Yeah.
Not on, like, flooded timber is no walk in the park, but dude, that frag is a motherfucker. Fuck that frag. That frag can go fuck itself.
Like the dirtiest part of your butthole.
Oh yeah, from fucking taint to my toes, get fucked. I don't want nothing to do with that frag. So, because it's just not worth it. I mean, not there. I didn't. If I'd have seen some, I'd say, yeah, I'll tough it out. But the frag is just, yeah, no thanks. Flooded timber is where it's at. From the week, I now have 7 days experience hunting these things.
Hey, you put an arrow in one.
Yeah.
Didn't find it, but
Yeah. And that was in flooded timber.
yeah.
And I think if for me, what I've taken away from this trip is that the frag, thank you, Sam, the frag is not ideal for where I want to sit. Because even if I did see one, you better have your bow in your hand.
Yeah, you can't be on your phone like you're on whitetail.
No, because by the time it's there, the time you get your bow, it's gone.
Yeah.
Because you have such low visibility. And in the flooded timber, it buys you a little bit more time. And it's just a hell of a lot easier to traverse.
Yeah.
So that's my takeaway. What I found for Sika deer hunting 102 is avoid the frag, sit on the edges of the frag, maybe get in some flooded timber, and stay the fuck out of Wicomico County.
Yeah, and from what me and Runsky learned, don't go to Chance Island. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm excited to go back next year. We and Runsky heard one bugle, but it was light years away. I'm excited to hear that thunder up close and personal.
Well, that's what me and Ryan were talking about. We were like, dude, I'm glad we didn't bring John, because he would have been like, bugles are cool, but we're not even fucking seeing them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the bugles, we heard some good bugles. Don't get me wrong. That morning, the last morning, I heard 6 or 7.
That's cool, though.
That was badass.
I think they're like a turkey, but with four legs. They just always communicate, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's what you said in the group chat to Ryan, that hunting them outside of October is like hunting turkey outside of the spring.
Yeah.
Which is, it's dead on, man. Because, like, in October, you can call to these things and they'll respond. But, dude, trying to see one without calling, because they're much more vocal and they respond to it, unlike a whitetail, which you can, but it's, yeah, I know.
I've never done it.
Really low odds. Yeah. But for these things, you can consistently call them in, but you're only doing that in October. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like if I hunted there in October, that stag that I bugled at, he might have showed up and came and seen, like, what's up, motherfucker? What's good, dog?
What's these hands, bro?
You want to catch these tines, dog?
This little 6-point rack, cuz?
Yeah, fucking. Dude, if I'd have seen one come under my stand, I would have jumped, I would have jumped on that thing with a knife before I would have let it go.
Wells.
Oh, dude, I was. That's what I told Ryan. I said, like, all in all, it's all about the journey, not the destination. And I enjoyed the fuck out of all of it. I had a great time hunting. It was still really cool, even though I didn't even see one in the stand. But it just, I still had a really good time doing it. And I just it makes me that much more hungry.
Yeah, Ryan said to me on the group chat that you were thinking about going back in January.
Well, yeah, if
fucking hooked, bro.
Fucking crackhead. Well, my thoughts are, so the flooded timber in Blackwater, which we'll be allowed to hunt again next year. By the way, I'm getting a fucking muzzleloader tag for Blackwater, because if I can't kill one with my bow, I'm taking the muzzleloader in there and I'm dropping a fucking Sika. There was a bunch I could have shot with a muzzleloader in there.
Really?
Yeah, at least 3.
Huh.
Yeah, the 6-point stag I could have shot if I had a muzzleloader. The spike I saw the first day I could have shot with a muzzleloader, 60 yards, just strolling along. The one I shouldered I could have shot with the muzzleloader, definitely.
Well, I'll do the same thing. I'm ready.
Yeah, so muzzleloader I feel like gives you a little more reach. But
so they don't open Blackwater for rifle or shotgun or anything?
Nah, I don't think so, no. I could be wrong about that. It might be shotgun. They might do a shotgun. But they don't do a rifle. But so the reason I would go back in January is if we have really cold temps and that flooded timber freezes, it makes the Sika deer, it constricts their movement, because they're not going to go in that frozen water. So they'll go back up on the land. So it makes them a lot easier to hunt.
I wonder if when it gets brutally cold, this is just me thinking outside the box. I wonder when it gets brutally cold if they just stick to one trail instead of being so elusive. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just me thinking outside the box.
It's possible. I think that if it was brutally cold with the water all freezing in there, they're not walking around on ice. I mean, because you're stepping in it, it's breaking. You know what I mean? Like it's going to constrict their movement.
Yeah.
Or restrict their movement. And I think that would be worth going.
Yeah.
In Blackwater, too. I'm not going back to Wacomico.
Fuck you, Wacomico.
Yeah. But I think if that happens, like if we get a week and it's all below freezing for a week in January, I might shoot up there for Friday, Saturday.
I think the lows next week are pretty low, but the highs are still in the 40s.
Yeah, God. Yeah. They're a frustrating animal, but
man, once you finally tag one,
how glorious is that going to be?
You're probably gonna cry.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be like your first buck.
Yeah. It's gonna be it's a magical moment.
I'll go with you guys next year. I'll smoke a Maryland State record. It'll be fine.
Why just go next year and opening day you just smoke a stag? Like, dude, I don't care what the big deal. What's so hard about this?
I don't fucking get it though. It's like walk right in front of me, dude. 10 steps.
I fucking missed it twice. It stayed there. Dude, that's what I see that shit on fucking social media. People post these monster stags and they're like, public land, got it done. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, how?
Yeah.
I just I know at the end of the day I gave everything I could have. It was not for lack of effort. I didn't sleep in once. I didn't fucking I worked as hard as I possibly could have for those 3 days. I mean, we grinded. It was all we could have done. We played the wind. We fucking did everything we could have done, and it just didn't happen. And so I left there knowing that I gave it 100%.
Left a $2,000 phone in the swamp.
Yeah. And I forgot. We almost lost the kayaks.
What?
The one day when we came back out, the tide came up. I left that part out. When we came out, the fucking kayaks were floating, and that grass was holding them where they were. So we were lucky.
Yeah, me and Runcie had the opposite situation. We went in when it was high tide, and we pulled the boat up really far. We went back out. It was low tide. So the fucking boat is sitting on the motor, and we try to push it, and the transom's cracking. I'm like, whoa, we got to rethink this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was...
You got to pay attention to the tides.
Yes, it didn't even cross my mind once.
Yeah.
But after that happened, it crossed my mind.
Yeah. If we wouldn't have, those kayaks would have been gone. And
then what would you do?
Luckily Ryan had his phone. He
called DNR.
Called Will Bratton, shout out,
hey.
And he'd have came and got us.
Shout out.
Yeah, he's a good dude. We met up with him at this place called the Irish Penny, and we had some beers. He told us he offered to give us a ride and shit on the boat, but I just felt like the kayak was kind of cool, and I wanted to do the boat, but honestly, after the experiences we had on the kayaks, it was like I think I'd rather just walk in.
Yeah.
We had better luck there. At least bugles. I heard a lot more bugles there. So now it's time for me to take a nice stroll into the whitetail woods and not fucking kill myself.
Fuck yeah.
I tell you what, man. Like last time, it made me really appreciate whitetail more.
Yeah.
Like just sitting in the whitetail woods, it was like this isn't like don't get me wrong. I like Sika hunting, but it is misery. You have to. It's that type B fun. That where it's like while you're doing it, it's like this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Until you get in the stand and it's just beautiful. But like with whitetail, you just enjoy almost all of it. You know, like don't get me wrong, there's some shitty whitetail hunts too. But for the most part, like what I'm doing local is it's there's no misery involved, other than maybe the drag.
Yeah. Dragging
the deer out, you know. But down there, man, it's just misery in, misery out, and fucking mosquitoes and fucking no cell service and swamp that swallows cell phones and fucking it's brutal.
Yeah. I tell you what, man, I love whitetails. When that doe came into that corn pile Wednesday, I got fired the fuck up.
Hell yeah.
I was shaking. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? It's just a doe. But it was awesome. If you want to feel what it is to live, get you a bow, shoot you a deer.
Oh my God,
that's living.
It is, and Ryan and I were talking about how like by the end of season we're just so worn out. Like I'm worn out right now, but I'm still so hungry for more.
Yeah.
Like I'm not done yet.
No,
I ain't fucking leaving.
We only got 31 days left.
Yeah, and I got a lot of hunting left in me. I'm going till the fucking clock strikes midnight, baby. You'll find me on the fucking floor out there in the fucking frag or wherever I may be, but I got a lot of whitetail left in me, and I can't wait to get out there and shoot something. Fuck like yeah. I feel like this hunt made me so much more hungry for success, like because of that just misery. I am shooting. I might shoot a fucking spike if I see one, dude. I want to shoot one bad.
If a spike would have came in tonight, he'd have been gone.
Yeah.
Sorry. Especially at port, we don't know if we're losing that land or not. Mm-hmm. Hell, I don't know. I'd probably shoot a spike over at the quarry.
I'm just, man, I don't know. My mind changes like the weather.
Yeah. Yeah, go back and listen to some other episodes where we bash baiting, we bash shooting young bucks, and now listen to us.
Here we are. We're like, oh, dude, I want to shoot one.
Fucking bloodlust.
It's just, I need more meat for one. Like, and that's at the end of the day, that's why we do this. And it's like, man, I'd love to. I need to put some more meat in the freezer. And like, I might be good, but I'm not golden yet. I'm not there yet. I need more deer. Especially since I got so much processed this year, it kind of realized that dawned on me like, oh shit, that's kind of hurting me a little bit.
Yeah.
I need to get more. So like I'm not ready for season to be over. I'm just like, and it's coming. That ending is close. So I'm gonna shoot more deer.
I'd love to get one more. I will get one more.
Yeah.
But if I didn't shoot another one for the rest of the season, I'm perfectly okay with how this season panned out.
Yeah, me too.
What was my goal? 6 deer, one buck. That's what I did.
That's what you got.
I got lucky number 7 on the board right now. Daddy.
Hell yeah! I'd like to get 8 for the year.
Yeah, I would love 8
because that's my best year ever, and I'd like to tie it. And this has been my best year ever anyway, just because Wyatt got his first deer. I got a nice buck on the beginning of my rut. It's been just an awesome year. I found this new animal to hunt that's relatively close. Like, it's just been a really good year.
Yeah, and we're gonna close it out here in a couple hours.
Yes, we are, brother. We got T-minus. It's 7:00 now. So if you're listening to this, it'll probably be tomorrow. But
speaking of season ending, I was sitting in the stand, and some geese flew over. What do you think about when deer season ends? We try some geese.
I think geese are in now.
Well, I think it's until like February.
Pretty sure it ends tomorrow.
What? I don't know about that.
I think it comes back in though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it on my calendar. Hold on. I can tell you.
Canada Goose. Late resident season. Yeah, it's in right now until March 10th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd be down to hunt some geese, dude.
I mean, we don't have any decoys or anything, so I don't know how we would do it. But these geese were flying over, and they were trying to land where I was, and I think they seen my truck, and they were like, "Ugh, I don't want to do that." I've never done it.
It'd be cool. Me neither. I've hunted duck hunting. That's the only bird I think I've ever hunted. Oh no, I've hunted turkey dove, but
stupid.
Yeah, fucking things. Well, I know I'll hunt turkey this spring too, but it's just kind of one of the things where it's like, it's cool. Yeah, I like it, but I'm not
getting up.
I like mammals.
Yeah,
like eating them, like fucking them.
What?
Well, you're a mammal. Yeah. So you hear Arizona and Utah branding cell cams now?
Yeah, we talked about that a while ago.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, I seen another article. I knew Utah was a while back. I thought Arizona was new, but it's not.
It
new.
might be.
I don't know.
That's shitty. That's so fucked up.
I wonder if it's gonna spread. And I read this article, and it kind of made me like, I kind of get that, because they were kind of saying like the
intrusion.
Well, yeah, and we did talk about that on a past episode. So I get it how if you're blowing animals off a watering hole and like they don't even feel safe to go in and get a drink, it's kind of like when they only have so much water in a place like Arizona,
I wouldn't say ban them completely. Maybe make it cell cam only, which I think I've said before. But
yeah,
but don't get the fucking Moultrie I got. That cocksucking thing kills batteries in 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
You get a lot of pictures though, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it on corn now?
Yeah, I got it on corner report now just to see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I got a buck in port.
Yeah, good one.
Hard to say. It's a shitty picture because it was in that fog this morning.
It was a foggy motherfucker. I got that 8-pointer on camera over at the quarry every day.
Yeah.
Terry, don't shoot him. Thank you.
Yeah, good luck.
He's got so much potential. God, he's a nice deer. But he's only 100 inches right now. Next year, who knows?
Yeah. So looking back on this year, because this is our New Year's Eve episode.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to do differently next year?
Ooh. Just make better shots. I hate wounding animals.
Yeah.
Even if a couple of them that I did shoot lived, I don't like that at all. It doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah. I feel like that's a good one that I kind of always want to do, though.
Yeah, that's every year, of course.
Yeah. I mean, because I feel like it's almost every year I fuck up in one way or another.
Yeah, but I feel good. Every deer that I did connect with and kill was dead quick.
Yeah.
I had to track the first one of the season. I had to shake that rust off, dog.
Yeah.
But every other one was dead in seconds. So I feel good about them, but I don't want to lose another deer ever.
You think you maybe just want to be more selective about your shots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a little bit longer, and if the shot never comes, don't take the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Shit like that.
I think I'm. I hate to do the same thing, but I mean that's kind of the one thing this year that really still haunts me is that buck that I shot, and I never found it. So, but I don't think it's not necessarily. I don't want to make a better shot because I hit where I wanted to aim.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess, be pickier about where I hit them, because I felt like that was a good shot, but hey, it was a risky shot. It was a one long,
In the moment, man, you feel so rushed. You feel like it's flying by so fast, but it's going pretty fucking slow.
Yeah.
You just got to learn how to slow it down
And take our time.
Yeah.
That's something I think I need to focus a little more on.
Yeah, but I feel good about being able to find deer, get on bucks, shit like that. I feel good about it.
Yeah, I do too. And even Sika, like I feel like like that one I shot, it was kind of the same deal. I hit, my arrow went where I wanted it to. It was too dark to really say where I was hitting. So
tough animals.
It's both of those are my fault. It wasn't necessarily an accuracy thing, but it was a judgment thing.
Yeah.
And I guess I just need more time in the stand to make those calls a little more effectively. So I'd like to be more patient, I guess, with my shots and try not to feel like I need to make this shot now.
Yeah. Man, I'm kind of sad it's coming to an end. God damn,
it's kind of heavy, dude.
I'm not hunted out.
I'm not either. I was looking at my calendar today, trying to like plan out the hunts that I have coming up, because dude, we're getting there. We got 30 days, so we got to get it done, baby.
It went by so quick.
Yeah.
Feels like just yesterday. It was fucking September 11th.
Yep. Hey. Next year's gonna be even better.
Hey,
that's my hopes. Is every year is better than the last, and if we can do that, if we can just get 5% better every year, in 20 years we'll have seasons twice as good as this.
We'll be shooting booners.
That's insane to think about. Just 5% each year. In 20 years we'll be twice as good as this year, which would be just phenomenal. I mean, I can't even imagine that.
I'll be 51.
Yeah, I don't want to imagine that.
Yeah.
But man, I feel like next year, I definitely for Sika, I have a lot more figured out.
Yeah.
I feel like going into this year, I was going in blind,
and
I got a whole week of hunting Sika, and I just feel like I've got a so much better starting point for next year. So I'm really looking forward to how I can get that done, because next year, dude, I can go a year without shooting one, but dude, I'm not killing one next year.
One will fall.
One will die, whether it's me or you or Ryan. It's gonna happen.
One's gonna fall.
I think, and you can kind of jump right in where we are, because we went to Wakamago, we seen this bullshit in the frag and the flooded timber, and I'm slowly figuring this shit out. So it's helping all of us. All ships rise with the tide. Kind of deal.
I mean, you guys were the guinea pigs.
Exactly. But hey, And it's very possible that next October in the rut, we go in there opening day and you fucking smoke one.
No, that's what's going to happen.
I hope so. I really do. I just want somebody to shoot one so I can taste this goddamn meat that I've heard is so fucking good. I want it bad.
You've been working too fucking hard to just not have one.
I just want to eat one.
Yeah.
Fuck. Hey, if you're a listener and you're a local guy, hook Ryan up with some meat too, or I'll come fucking down and eat some. Will don't hunt them. He told us where he hears them because he's out there hunting whitetail and ducks and shit and crabbing.
He just doesn't have any interest in them?
He said, fuck them sick deer. He said, I ain't going in that marsh.
Has he done it, though?
I don't think so.
No.
He said he has no desire. He's like, I ain't going in that marsh. I said, dude, come with us tomorrow. He said, I ain't going in that marsh.
Big Liz, bro.
I was like, all right, I get it.
He's going to fuck his butthole.
He had no interest in that marsh. And I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hell you went through.
It's a beautiful hell.
Yeah.
It is. I'll tell you what, them sunsets and that, just the bugle, that eerie bugle that you hear in that dusk. I mean, I'm erect right now just thinking about it. But it is a motherfucker. Yeah. Like, going in and coming out are so miserable. But while you're sitting in your stand, it's just beautiful, man. It's such an amazing place. The multitude of birds and wildlife that's out there. I mean, the ducks. It's just everything is just, that place is just so alive with nature, and that's why we do it. I mean, it's one of the many reasons why. But it is like, I enjoyed that hunt, even though it was 3 days of pure failure. To me, I had a fucking awesome time. I left there happy. You know what I mean?
Did you see a Delmarva fox squirrel, the endangered squirrel?
No, actually, I didn't. I think I seen one in Blackwater, but I didn't see one there. Yeah, big ass squirrel.
Apparently, I didn't see one either. I seen gray squirrels, but
yeah, I might have seen one. I'm not sure if I seen one.
Yeah, you weren't paying attention.
No, it was a big ass squirrel, and it was a ways off, and I was like, it could be one, but I wasn't sure. Yeah. Well, we got some beer to kill.
Yes, we do.
And still some deer to kill.
Hey, you ain't kidding there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you for joining me on this journey to Sikaville.
It was a hell of a story.
Hell yeah. And thank you for all the views and just you guys are fucking awesome. And it's been a hell of a year for the Beards and Deers. So, cheers to y'all.
Cheers. Cheers to 2022.
We'll see y'all next year.
Peace.